Welcome to Digital Soul Food. I'm your host, Jason Wallace, and I appreciate you checking out the podcast. So today we have a special guest, Kyiesha Sterling of hiphopcloset.com, longtime friend. We're going to talk about her journey from being an engineer to owning a fantastic retail space and thriving online business. Should be fun. So, you guys ready? Let's go.
Take this mind of mine. Take this mind of mine.
All right, welcome to Digital Soul Food. We got Kyiesha Kelly here of hiphopcloset.com. Kyiesha, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming on, man. Like we've known each other since high school.
Yeah, high school days. Oh, about 10 years now, right?
Yeah. Brooklyn Tech.
Yes,
Brooklyn.
tech love.
So we're big on origin stories here. So kind of give us a little bit of your like where you from, where you got your start from, and like where you headed to now.
Okay, so that was a lot. I'm gonna be talking for a half hour if I answer all of
All right. So we'll talk about.
how I started,
All
right?
right.
Okay, so hiphopcloset.com. It's owned by myself and my brother. We founded it in 1998 when the internet was a baby and I was a baby too. And we decided to we felt like there was a need to supply the world with hip hop related items, clothing, magazines, mixtapes, everything. There was nothing like it on the internet. So that's how we got started. It was my brother's idea, actually.
Because what was the source of inspiration? Because we didn't have anything at the time. There
Right.
was nothing there.
I didn't even have a computer at the
Wow.
time.
So, but you were gonna start a computer company with
Yeah, with no
no
computer.
computer. All right.
So it was my brother's idea. I was actually working as an engineer in Southern California. I had just graduated from Howard University, had my degree in civil engineering. So I moved out there and I was minding my business, doing my thing. I came home for Christmas break and he approached me. He was like, "We need to start a company. We need to start an internet company. We can sell clothing and accessories online." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Like I didn't know what he was talking about. And so he said, "No, we should do it. It's gonna be huge." So I went back to Cali, bought a computer, set up an email account, and I remember, like this was like back in AOL days. I
Right.
still have my AOL
You got
account
the
too.
dial up.
Like, yeah, like the whole dial up. They mail you the CD, and so I'm at home, and they had like the AOL Messenger and
Yeah.
the chat rooms
What was
and
your what was your,
everything.
what was your messenger name?
It was HH Closet because I was strictly there for business.
Okay.
So it was HH Closet at AOL, and I still have that AOL
I was JW24NY.
account. So I get online and I start getting all of these like weird email messages back, like all of this spam and stuff. I literally unplugged the thing and because I thought people were coming to get me. Like I was so scared.
You sound like my mom now.
Right? No, it was so scary for me. I just got the computer. I didn't know anything about it. Before that, my email was a edu was
Right. Yeah.
the
Yeah.
college, and that's super safe. Like
Yeah.
there's no spam. I probably didn't even use it, but I did research. I did tons of research. Like I love doing research for some reason. And we did a business plan, everything. Like we mapped the whole thing out. And then I realized, I was like, wow, like this is gonna be huge. Like this is you onto something. I looked at all of the forecasting about how e-commerce was gonna grow and everything. And then we found out how to actually do it, because now that was the difficult part. Like, okay, that's a great idea, but
How do
how
you
do
execute?
how do you execute? So me with my engineering background, like I love to problem solve and come up with processes and all of that type of geeky stuff. So I did the research on how to. I think actually my brother had discovered Yahoo at that time. We were a Yahoo
Mm,
store because Yahoo was the leader in the search
yeah,
engine
it was.
game.
Yep.
Yeah. and they were pretty much like the first major to start an e-commerce platform, and it still was drop and drag. Like I don't know HTML or anything, so um, we started that, and we picked up on Yahoo. And the great thing about it, about them being the search engine, is that they listed you high. Like they ranked you really high because that was the name of their game. So every product that we put up, was really high. So if you search for any of the majors, we came up. Fat Farm, Fubu. This was all the big stuff back then. Fat Farm, Fubu, Rockaware, Sean John.
And Hip Hop Closet.
Yeah, it all came to Hip Hop Closet because none of them had websites. Also, so that's how we got started.
So that's interesting because we think about when you go back to the late '90s, early 2000s again. Like we're we our culture is growing, like we're growing,
So much.
but we don't have that outlet. And then here you are, you decide, okay, I'm gonna jump in there. I'm gonna learn everything I need to learn and start a business. And a lot of us, even now we're trying to figure that out. Like, how do we start a business? Like, how do we take our passions and turn it into like our job?
Hmm.
So what at what point did you where did you get to the point of, okay, this is definitely going to work, we're definitely going to be successful, and we are going to move into like this great space you have here now?
So it all happened really fast. Because my brother approached me with the idea in December. We had a business plan together. My mom proofread it and everything. We had a business plan together, and our site was up and running by June of 1998. So we met in December of 97, and it was up and running by June of 98. And we started, taking orders, and it was really hard in the beginning though because nobody wanted to deal with us. Like first of all, we looked like we were 10, and then we had no background in fashion. We had no background in e-commerce. Nobody even knew what e-commerce was. So it was really hard to get clients at the time. But what we did was we went to stores, and we, told stores, listen, this is the way you compete on a global level because, you're not going to be able to set up an e-commerce and run a physical store, but all of your dead stock, anything that you're not selling, we'll handle that for you. We'll take the pictures, we'll put it up on the site. If there's any returns, we'll eat that, because we know we could resell it. And, that's how we started. And it worked out because they just wanted to get rid of excess merchandise. And they knew that, okay, now I can compete, and I can, be out there and I don't have to do any work, but let them come in the store and take pictures.
So you guys are like the early Amazon.
We were definitely the early Black Amazon.
Wow.
Yeah.
Imagine have you gone on that same trajectory as Jeff Bezos.
Right. Yeah. Like, imagine if I would have had like a business background, or, I just had people in my corner that knew how to scale a business up.
Mhm.
Like neither one of us had a business background. So a lot of what we figured out how to do, we had to learn on our own. And honestly, I don't think I mean, things it all happened so fast. Like we weren't even open a year, and I just had actually looked at this stuff. March of 99 was when June Ambrose and um, Russell Simmons. Well, it was really June Ambrose. They were doing Hip Hop Week on MTV, and she shouted us out as the place to go to get hip hop clothing.
Nice.
And it was like, wow, like how did this happen? And so, of course, that's like global. And this was when they repeated stuff all week long. So this
Yeah.
was free advertisement for an entire week, and they flashed it on the bottom of the screen, and it just lived there.
And that gave you your
And that,
legitimacy.
yeah, that gave us legitimacy. And so at this point we were kind of thrust into the fire, and now had to really figure it out. And sometimes when you grow too fast, and you don't have all your ducks in a row, it could be a little bit difficult to stay on top of that. And I never did have the time to really figure out like what it really means to run a business. Like it's like constantly like just putting out fires, and like I'm hiring all of my friends and stuff, which was good, but it's like, okay, but there's no training to back any of it up for anybody. So we're all just like flying by the seat of our pants. And I mean, it was a wild ride. You learn a lot that way, but we knew pretty early that it was going to be a thing, and then the internet just started to explode. So,
Right. So one of my favorite collaborations that you guys do is with April Walker. So
mhm.
tell me how you met April and how that's come about.
April, I met April through another tech night, Marlon Rice, and
Shout
he,
out to Brooklyn Tech.
yeah, shout out to Brooklyn Tech. Like all of my whole squad is tech night. Can't get away from it all. Love it. So it was our 20th anniversary, and we were moving into this new space. So we kind of like went backwards in the world of retail in a sense where we started out in e-commerce and then we opened up a showroom and retail space where everybody was, doing the opposite. So we realized though that we could sell more and be more appealing to a consumer and get the trust of a consumer if we can say we have a legitimate spot. Like even if you can't get to us, if you need to, you
You get
can.
to,
Like
yeah,
we're real,
yeah,
So that's why we set up this spot. It was our 20th anniversary and we wanted to do a fashion show, first fashion show ever. And I realized that I wouldn't be able to do it without partners in the community. Like I wanted to, incorporate existing brands that were already here and show, this collaboration between the new space and the existing people that are still doing it in Brooklyn. And so me and April, we spoke about it and she was in, thank God. And ever since then, we've just been like, sisters in fashion, like, collaborating on tons of stuff and just like, it's always good to have another entrepreneur that's outside of your business
hmm
to like, talk to.
yeah. Now and it's dope. And I came to the was the book reading that she had
Yeah,
with her
she did
dad.
our first book discussion.
Yeah, and that was pretty dope. And she's been I've seen her in and out throughout the time. So going back to our friends, right? So our tech nights, like you know, it's interesting how so many of us have been like together and like for so long.
Right.
One of the things another thing I like about this space is that we've had a few events here, right?
Yes, we've had some great events. I miss them.
So tell us some about that. Like tell us about the game nights and
So one of the things that I really wanted to incorporate in the space was not just a showroom to sell merchandise, but also to really bring the brand to life. So you can come in and really experience what Hip Hop Closet was all about. It's a lifestyle brand. We sell everything from games to custom sneakers to custom leather coats and sheepskins and shearlings and t-shirts and hoodies and it's a creative space. And so we really want to bring that to life and have people come and experience who we are and what Suite 607 is all about because that's where we are, Suite 607 in the Brooklyn ABR. And so we've had everything from book discussions, which I really like to call Meet the Author.
yeah,
You
dope,
participated. I love that series because it's really a discussion of how you got to the point of writing your book. Not really about the book, but
right.
who you are. I think that's very important about all of us, our brands, to like really um, let the customer know who we are, as a person and why we're doing what we're doing. So we've had those. We've had write and sips where an editor comes in and gives you a prompt and you're sipping and writing. You can share or not share. Those get very emotional, like laughing, crying, everything in between. We have karaoke night. Our last karaoke night was the best karaoke night. We had Milk D in the place to be. It was so good.
And that
Um,
was the last one
that was
before.
the last. That was like days before COVID.
Yeah,
And I remember saying, I said, okay, this is gonna be my last event for a little while. I want to take a breather and just, plan out some different stuff and see what's working and what's not, and then everything shut down.
COVID. I just want to say for the record that I won best duo with Stacy because we killed it because that's what we
You
do.
and Stacy,
Game
you are right. But yeah, so yeah, we did. What else have we done? We had game night.
night.
Game night was fun with University of Dope card game. Um,
We had my aunt's 75th birthday party there,
right, and
surprise
my
party.
mom's 75th birthday party. So yeah, we've done a whole lot of different things. We've had what else did we? I never got to do my paint and sip. I wanted to do my paint and sip.
We'll make that
Didn't get to
happen.
that. Yeah. Um, we've even had marketing workshops for small businesses. I've hosted um, I've hosted classes with, like students have come and spent a day here doing different things. I even hosted a summer youth camp for a week. They came here every day for a week, and they designed a sneaker that they pitched to Nike. And one of the winner got her sneaker actually developed by Nike. So that was
Nice.
cool to see. Yeah, they were young, and so that was really exciting for everybody. So that was cool. So we just do a lot of stuff, like.
And but that's the other thing that's dope about what you guys do is you're also like super active in the community and you give back. Like
Hmm.
this summer, going out to Restoration Plaza,
Oh yeah,
you know,
restoration, feel good Fridays. Hell yeah, that was good.
like having the mural up,
Hmm.
taking pictures, selling out there. Then the Winter Bazaar,
Oh
also
yeah, the Winter
supporting.
Bazaar, that was good. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's those things. For me as a consumer, like those are things that I like to see because it's like you're not just all right. I just want to get a check. All right,
Hmm.
thank you very much, taking the clothes, whatever the case is. It's like you guys are definitely giving back, definitely involved, and then also trying to figure out like what's next.
Right.
So what's it been like since COVID? Like whatever, how have you guys been able to maneuver?
It's been challenging. Just in the sense of it's so volatile. Like you never know what's coming next. And then part of the reason why we moved into this space was to connect with our customers, was to have these events, and so that was dead. We couldn't do that. But so I really just had to think on my feet and be resilient and kind of pivot a little bit and figure out like what do my customers need at this moment and give it to them. We played around in the virtual space a little bit, but that became a little bit taxing. Just trying to plan and do those things along with the business. But things have actually been good. Like my tech family and everybody has just rallied behind, to like really support. Like I feel like small businesses, especially black owned businesses, the spotlight has been shined on us, and like the community has definitely come out and supported. And I thank everybody for that. Like it's been a conscious effort to keep our small businesses alive. So.
Yeah, and hopefully, next couple months we'll get past this. We'll
Hmm.
all be vaccinated. COVID will be, eradicated or on the wayside, and then we can get back to having karaoke. We can get back to,
Right.
opening the space up and so forth.
Yeah.
That'll be
Yeah.
dope. What's been the best seller for you?
Hmm. Masks this year were a huge seller. I did this back to fucked up mask. I can curse my
Yeah,
hearing. I did that. That was a really big seller. That was good. But our major seller is really the custom sheepskins and shearlings. So yeah, those do really well. We give people a chance to get into something that they either had and it disappeared on them, or they just weren't able to do because they couldn't afford it, or their
right.
parents said no, I'm not buying it, and I get that a lot. Like I always wanted one and now's the time I'm going to get it. So that feels good because it has like a nostalgic vibe, but it's also a super functional coat. When it's cold out, there's nothing that will keep you warmer.
Yeah, I'm in that latter part. Like I never had one. I definitely want to get one. So I've been teetering. I've been going back and forth. But yeah, no, it's definitely something that as kids, we also always saw kids see the guys with the sheepskins and the girls, and you know but we didn't really want to couldn't do it because our parents couldn't afford it, or our parents
Right.
was like, I don't want to see you get shot or stabbed or somebody
Exactly.
steal
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. It's
You know,
aspirational, and I mean, it's a certain individual that rocks it.
right? But that's our culture though, right? So
Hmm.
it's something that some other parts of culture wouldn't even understand.
Right.
And I think it's more even so much like a New York thing. It maybe even to be like a Brooklyn thing,
No,
or
I mean, no. It's definitely like I say all of New York definitely, and any of the cold states, like they know, like especially like Illinois, they're they know.
Like, yo, guy, I need
Yeah,
this.
yeah, it's like it's a thing wherever it's more so, and even people, and what's interesting in that is that people have migrated, like outside of the cold
Mhm.
areas, but when they see it, they're like, oh, I want one, but I just can't do it.
That's me.
So we actually have developed like a much lighter weight one. So I mean, they won't get as much functionality out of it because it's even lightweight is still warm. But on those cold evenings, like maybe a vest or something.
Mm. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna get one. So
You should.
next year, yeah, next year. I think for next winter. This winter's almost over. Like
Oh
praying.
Lord, you never know. Like it could be a whole snowstorm in March. Like this weather is so weird.
Yeah, it hasn't been that bad, but
No, it hasn't.
for that type of level, for that level of coat, like you just need to be, you need to be outside.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely good for Illinois and that area, any of the northern states.
So what's the one product you wish you could have sold that you missed out on, or you were like, yeah, it's not gonna do too well, and then all of a sudden it just blew up?
Hmm, that's a good question. I don't know because we've had so much stuff. I mean, the thing about the products that I regret is not keeping a lot of that vintage stuff.
Mm,
Is like I wish I didn't sell everything. Like some of those Pele coats, like they went out of business and people are still calling for them. I had a dream that they came back to the Averex coats. Like I wish I would
right.
have kept a lot of that old school vintage stuff because like a lot of like television shows are looking for that type of thing now. Um, but also just to have like a museum, so to speak, of stuff. Like I have one or two pieces, but I definitely wish I would have kept more stuff.
Yeah, I know I definitely have stuff that I wish I had kept as well, like or has disappeared somehow.
Hmm.
You thought like, wait a minute, did I put this in storage and like why is
Right,
this
and then
not in
it's
the
just not.
like
Yeah.
where is it? What happened to it? Yeah, I'm definitely, those pieces are gone forever. But I still have like my 555 Soul. I still like have some of those pieces. I have
Hmm.
like a Spike, the Crooklyn, 40 Acres Mule Crooklyn jersey
Okay.
that I
Yeah.
wore for our 25th. I'm dating ourselves. Our 20 that the old school night.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Yep. Hmm.
yeah. Still
Hmm.
got that. There's a couple pieces. So it's like part of it, and that's part of like as we get older, we're like you want to shed stuff, you want to get rid of stuff, but then you're like, yo, this is
Right. Exactly.
like
Yeah.
I don't want to get rid of this because
Right.
now it's vintage. Like
Hmm.
now it's classic.
Yeah, I started like making like a little time capsule box. Like I won't sell it. Like if something is a really hot seller, I'll just like put a couple pieces to the side, just like, not to ever sell them, but just to have, like this is what was going on in this era. I also wish that I would have digitized my pictures.
Mm,
Like that, like, because, we've taken pictures, like, we pretty much have a record of almost everything that was put out by the brands from 1998. But I didn't digitize it. So it's all like on floppy disks.
well, you can still do that.
The format was different. So I mean, I would have to get an expert in to like try to figure it out. Um, because I bought like one of those little things and I popped the floppy disk in and it did not work. So I don't know how to do it. But that and in the very beginning, we used to like my brother would take the pictures, he would get them developed, and then he would mail them to San Diego, like the actual physical picture, and then I would scan them in San
Wow,
Diego, like scan them in and upload them to the site because that was even before digital cameras.
wow. So you were like, all right, I gotta do this after 9 o'clock because my nighttime minutes is gonna hit
No, I would scan them in on
at
the
work.
no, I had a scanner,
Okay.
like like the flatbed
Yeah.
scanner. I would scan them, but I did have to do it after work because I was an engineer. I was a whole engineer, like designing the infrastructure for the internet in Southern California. So my job was like super demanding. So after work, I would come home and just like work on Hip Hop Closet all
So
night.
so here's a question though. How did you decide to give that up? Like again, you're on the other side of the country. You're in a successful job. You did what you want to do. You
Right. I mean,
graduated, you're there, and it's like,
right. Like I'm just gonna leave this. I mean, well, one of the things was that it had grown so fast. So, it was really like a either you're going to give this your full time and make it succeed, or you're not. Like it was really like a choice. But the other thing was that I was all the way at like the farthest you can be and still be in the continental United States from Brooklyn.
right,
And all my family was still over here. I had a couple of cousins and one friend, a couple of friends that lived out there, but it was still one of those things where it was like, okay, my family's not here. Like how long am I really gonna stay out here without my people? And then they were going to put me into a job that where I was actually going to be the only person in Southern California doing this job. And then I started to feel trapped.
mm,
So I was like, if I take this job, then that's it. Like I'm not gonna want to just quit. Like I'm gonna be tied in here. And then so I was like, okay, let me just make my exit right now. And I moved before they moved me into that job.
so, and it worked out.
And it worked out. It did work
So
out.
here we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah, I got back together with my high school sweetheart. We had
What's
kids.
his name?
Daniel.
Daniel.
We had kids, and it's just been, nonstop since then.
Daniel. Dan and I are both Panamanian. I didn't know Dan was Panamanian until like recently.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, yeah, it was funny. It's like it's because had we I know now we probably would have connected even more so through high school.
Right.
I was a little scared of Dan back then though, but Dan was a little hood, a little more hooder back then.
He was a sweetheart. He's a
Nah, he's a great person,
nice
but that crew was a little rugged,
person.
no question.
Tech was a different, yeah. Tech was different. Brooklyn was different. Like everything was so different back then. What year did you leave Tech?
I left in '90. I left after sophomore year.
Okay, after sophomore year. So did you pick your major?
Yeah, I was gonna be architectural engineer.
What? We
Yeah,
would have been in the same major. We would
would
have
have
been
been.
buddies.
We would have been. Yeah, it would have been dope. I was hyped, and my parents were like, they pulled up the Fresh Prince, like, no, you're gonna go live with your dad in Jersey, and I was just like, well, why? Yeah,
Really? Oh man, I was getting ready to ask you what school did you go to, but you moved to Jersey, so I don't even know what part of Jersey.
South Jersey, so
Okay.
like Holy Cross, But then we got out of school so early, and I was able to get my permit. So it was times when I was able to drive up, and I came into the lunchroom, I was hanging out. I was
Really?
at Tech, like, what's up? It was,
That's
it
the
was
thing. Like once you're bitten by that tech bug, you just can't let it
nah,
go.
I can't. You make friends, lifelong friends,
Yeah, lifelong squad.
like even like there's a group of us, like we all went to school from elementary school all the way up through Tech.
Really?
Like Ernest, Dave,
What
um,
elementary school did you go to?
PS208, so Elsa
Okay.
Eblin,
Okay.
and East Flatbush.
Mhm.
Uh, yeah, it's a few of us. So then we went to junior high school together, and then we went to Tech. And one of the things like now with this whole the gifted testing and stuff and all the confusion or the controversy around it. What was dope back then was I was a pretty smart kid, but you just didn't wasn't able to apply myself because things were so easy.
Mhm.
And if it wasn't from Miss Stone, my fifth grade teacher, who was like, "Go take the test for Astor," took the test for Astor, got in, and then we went to Buildersea, which was like the special middle school. And then from there, it was like, all right, all of you are taking the test for all specialized schools.
Oh,
And
okay.
then like of then all of us, we were like, all right, who's the smartest of us? That was our thing. Like it wasn't even about like we played sports and all that stuff, but it was like which one of us is smartest? Like Jonathan, Dominique,
Mhm.
Leonard, Shawnette, like it was so many of us that you know went to Tech, and then we met y'all.
Mm.
Then we all, you know,
It's so interesting.
yeah. But then that neighborhood, Fort Greene was crazy. Fort Greene was
Mm.
Fort Greene
Oh,
was a wild, wild west. Like people don't understand how dangerous it was.
listen, I was born and raised in Fort Greene. I lived around the corner from the school.
So it was easy. So you were good.
I would walk right through the park to school every day and back home.
We never went to the park. They told us do not go in the park for no reason. You will get robbed. They will come for you in the park.
Yeah,
We probably was in the park like twice, I think, in my life.
really.
Yeah, like
Yeah, Fort Greene was not a good place at all. And yeah, and then Alby Square Mall. Like, would you go into Alby Square? Like, everybody has a story about Alby Square Mall.
I went, but see, the thing is, we always went together.
Hmm.
We never really went like separate. Like there was one time we were coming back from football practice, and we were going. So it was like three of us. We was like, yo, we're going to McDonald's because it was like the Big Mac
Right.
two for $1, something crazy. So as we walking, there was like a big group of guys like on Fulton. So it was like, okay, well, we could dip off into the McDonald's. And then when we looked back, there was a group of guys behind us because that was Beat Down Alley.
Right.
So this street is called Beat Down Alley because like you get trapped in that street, and then all of a sudden
They
like
just be
you get it
waiting.
right. They just waited. So we had our equipment, so we're like, man, all right, like why we had to get McDonald's this time? So we get there, we get to the end, and then like it was like two of our boys. One of my boys I knew from junior high school. And it was another guy. So it was like, oh, what up? And we was like, yo, what's good? It's like, oh, and all of a sudden, like, there's like 30 guys around. They're like, nah, they good, they good. Like, yo,
Right.
we're
Yeah.
like, all right. But that was what it was. Like, you had to, you
And then
had
we
to,
had those hammers. We
yeah,
had
yeah, yeah,
some weapons.
right,
But I know people were still catching it. It was still like bad.
yeah, it was bad. So whenever I see, I walk through Fort Greene now, Rockies, the corner store, Academy's gone.
Hmm.
You see the way the neighborhood has changed. But you still have those memories like of
Right.
how of what it was, and how it's transformed. It's crazy.
Yeah. I know it's been, yeah, my parents are still there, so I've seen the transformation. I mean, even here with the Navy Yard too, because we've been here in the Navy Yard since 1999 when I quit my job and moved back December 1999. And we moved into another spot here in the yard. So we've been here and I've seen that transformation too. It's absolutely amazing, really, honestly.
No, it is. It is. So, what's next for Hip Hop Closet?
So we're really just I feel like I still haven't grown the showroom portion of things, like the Sweet 607. Like I still want to bring that up to the next level. But I also, I mean, we're playing with the idea of like franchising a little bit where we'll have like a hip hop closet in different markets. A lot of people have been inquiring about, or saying that they want to open up a store like this. So um, we've been working on that. So
Okay.
yeah, that's like down the road.
Okay. So now that you understand the business side of it,
Yeah.
now you can really get your Jeff Bezos on
Hmm.
and take over the world.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's interesting because I've been on all of these blogs. Like this is like the best time as an entrepreneur to really get started because there's so much information out there. Like you don't even need a mentor because there's so many so much information. Like as long as you are ambitious, and I mean there's no magic bullet, you still have to get out there and do the work, but the information is readily accessible as long as you're looking for it. You can get out there and get it done.
Dope. I agree. So tell everybody where we can find you.
So yes, you can find us Hip Hop Closet on IG and on Facebook. We're in Brooklyn, New York, and we're in the Brooklyn Navy Yard. You can come visit us by appointment only, and all of our information is on our IG, our Facebook, and our website is hiphopcloset.com. And so, call us up, DM us, come check us out, check out our goods, and we ship worldwide.
And you might see your boy in a picture or two.
Yeah, we should do a photo shoot right now.
We should, like definitely right after we get done.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, Kai. I really appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for listening.
Thanks. All right. Peace.
Peace.
Hey, so Kyiesha dropped a lot of gems for us, and I really appreciate her coming on today. Going from a full-time, you know, employee to full-time business owner took a lot of guts. Uh, but the thing I appreciated most was, her dedication to researching and improving the business, and taking that research and turning it into action, and just keep it moving. So definitely check out hiphopcloset.com. Definitely check us out on IG because I'll be there. You'll see my picture. I do model for her time to time. And I want to thank you for listening to the pod, watching it. If you checking out on YouTube, yeah, subscribe, share, tell your friends how dope it is. Until next time, peace.